What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5. We're back. It's plot twist week. We've got the Underworld plot twist for you. You don't know this yet, but you've actually already seen it. Here we go. Not finished yet. The standard restrictions of all the other loyal-based plot twists, and the effect of the Underworld plot twist is main, recover an enemy character. So you've probably already seen this week off another team. We were politely informed by Mark that this was going to be shown before ours, so that we were aware that you're all going to be knowing what this effect is. So we're here filming on a Monday, going to try and show you guys that the Underworld version is going to be a lot better than whoever has the other version. So you'll have obviously noticed the other day, it's an enemy character. It doesn't say supporting. So aggressive decks are going to want to stun the main character, flip them back up, stun them again. I suppose Underworld, they kind of got a tool to do this. Is it worth not including other cards in your deck to do this? I mean, turn 2, 3, you're always dependent on the god draws as ever, but Underworld have got the tools there. Turn, in the first 3 or 4 turns, I mean, they've got Electro that can clear the board. They've got Winter Soldier who can attack, move, attack again. They've got Rhino who just has the artwork for not finished yet, who just moves into things. We've got Mr. Hyde now as well, who could be a 5/5 on turn 4, 10/10 on turn 5, and then after you waste all your cards doing all these shenanigans, you got Leader to bump your hand back up. So we already know about the villains and the Femmes and of course the X-Men. Are you more likely to run a loyal Underworld deck compared to the others, Matt? What do you think?
Probably not, no. I mean, it's a good card.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it works. Yeah, no, I'm going bold with this. I just think, as a team, like their best MC is Mordo.
Yeah.
And Mordo doesn't want to build mono, really.
No.
Like, the stuff that he wants is on the other teams. So I feel that by putting this in, it's not really going to benefit you as much.
Gary's shaking his head.
I couldn't disagree more.
I was thinking a mono Mordo deck would actually be quite good, but
Seriously, shrink the guy, and he's level 1 while you repeat.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Face in with anything. Nightmare at the end. This guy finishes it because you put some -1/-1 counters on the main character, smash the main character in. Even if you haven't got the even if there's not the -1/-1 counter stunning him, he's coming back up to smash him again when he's tiny.
yeah, we've got pain and suffering as well.
There's just no way at the back end of the game you're killing it. You're killing the main character 2 or 3 times easily in one turn.
Yeah,
They've got the tools to proper leverage this, because most of the other people, it's all very well going, yeah, I can stun the main character twice in one turn, but I've got to have the tools to get through a main character twice in one turn. Which against certain decks like Enchantress and people like that, you're talking 8 defense, and you've got to get to them. Whereas you've got the tools in the Underworld deck to make sure that that anybody on your board can stun their main character, because Mordo just goes, "You're tiny," and they can dish out -1/-1 characters, not as many as we'd like, to leverage Nightmare. But this is kind of like the legit way of using him. It's we'll make you small, we'll punch you in the face, and then we'll resurrect you and punch you again because it's funny.
yeah,
So I think the issue is that the problem is I don't think it makes any of the other MCs necessarily playable, because the other defenders MCs can be a bit restrictive, and we know Venom loses at least one really useful card for him, and probably doesn't get the benefit of this. But I actually think that potentially Mordo can. I think it does make Mordo a threat.
yeah.
Plus, I have to play Taskmaster. Oh, boo-hoo. And any excuse to play Taskmaster is always win by me.
Yeah.
So, the problem is Underworld were deeply underwhelming in the first release of, and none of their main characters made you want to go out and build them. I mean, I really wanted to make Winter Soldier work, but the freeze problem is just too much to get round. But again, Winter Soldier, if you can get him leveled up, the main character's screwed.
Yeah.
Because one day, Winter Soldier just goes, shoot you, recover you, shoot you again, recover you, shoot you again, because you can't hide. So he allows Winter Soldier, if you can level him up, to just kill the enemy MC without any trouble at all. So there are characters that in Underworld that make this a really powerful card, and with the additional supports they've got, it's possible it might work.
If the supporting characters were bang on, they're good. But I mean, Bullseye can do 3 wounds in one turn because his level 2 ability adds a wound to a face-up main character. You then stun them for a second wound, recover them, hit them again for a third wound in one turn. That can swing a game. But it's Bullseye. But
the thing is, with Leader, you've got every chance of hitting 2 of them in a game. Because if you've gone aggressive on 4 copies of every character, and plenty of plot twists and stuff, you're going to be aggressively emptying your hand to reload it with Leader. So you're going to turn your deck that much faster, potentially turn your deck a lot quicker, and maybe get to see the second copy. And a second copy of this is game over. Gotta be. Yeah.
The thing is, after Legacy releases, though, we're not going to get any more Underworld cards, are we? For what, 12 months?
Yeah.
We've seen all the Underworld. Go on then, Ashley. Your turn.
Me. I've been quiet because I think I've got quite a bit to say. I think what Gary was saying about Bullseye is probably right about this. I think this is probably a win condition at the end of the game where if you've been playing with Leader and you want to be aggressively discarding stuff to power up whatever you've got, maybe it's Bullseye supporting character. You just want to get stuff in the bin so you can draw more cards and get to this, which is your end game, where you're playing this, you're just slamming in with Blackheart or whatever, who's massive because everything's in your bin. And this is just like the 2 or 3 wounds in like the final couple of turns that just kills your opponent. I'm not sure what MCs it strictly goes with, because if you've got Leader in your deck and you're just spaffing off all your cards, just putting them in the bin for plus on counters, like Leader gets even better. So perhaps this is better with Venom. It just needs some thinking about. If we look at Winter Soldier, it's got potential, especially if Freeze gets reworded in the future. With Mardo, this is probably because you just want to be playing disruptive stuff and sort of getting in the way. This is probably your end game as well, because you just make their character level 1. It's easy to stun it. You can do it with anything because level 1s are just small by the time you want to be doing this. And you just get to basically just burn them out in one turn. I like the tension that these are creating where you have to decide, well, do I want Thanos in my evil character deck or do I want this plot twist? And I think this plot twist is great. I'm glad, but history could make me wrong here, that this isn't in Defenders. Bear in mind, I could be very wrong there. Because if you're able to play this with Ghost Rider, it could lead to some horrendous blowouts.
Language.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's one of the most powerful ones that we've seen, perhaps on a level with the villains one. Obviously, it's doing very different stuff, but I like it. I like the utility it's got. I like that you can probably use it quite early on with stuff like Rhino. I like how it means that 7 wounds potentially isn't safe anymore because you don't get that many turns. And when you're playing something like that, Phoenix, with 7, the main reason she was so powerful is because you got to see so many cards because you couldn't honestly finish the game before about turn 10. Now, they're just not safe anymore. And they need to consider that with their deck building. I like Steel and Flame, though.
Steel Flame's retarded.
The villain one.
Yeah,
it's a retarded card.
Yeah. I play a Goblin and then I play Steel and Flame and you go poof.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so good.
I like how he's on the artwork as well, because that's what Metal on Fire does.
Yeah, it's just a ramped up
Like
version.
on crack, isn't it?
Yeah.
So out of all the other plot twisting, which one do you rate the highest? Which ones do you rate the lowest? Have you got a particular favourite, Matt? Or
Well, wait for me first on this.
Well,
one. Okay.
it's because you've all rearranged.
Is it okay? Villains
Getting used to
obviously
being first.
really good. Yeah. Well, it's not going to happen because apparently I'm not going to turn up with Underworld mono. So yeah, yeah, villains is brilliant. Like that card's really good. Obviously, it unlocks certain things, so it makes it a little bit easier for Thanos to get stunned, which is good. You could even get like a full board with that, which is quite nice. If you draw multiple. Um, yeah, the X-Men one was really good. I know that Ashley wants to go into that because he's pretty hyped about that card, so I won't touch on that too much. And then +3 counters is pretty awesome. It's like really not that bad a card. It can just turn a turn, like draw that. Right, I've got a +3/+3 onto my God, I don't even know, onto my Lilith now. She's not small anymore. She's quite deadly, going to get the stuns quite easily. And I'm playing Enchantress, so she's got counters now, so I can ready her afterwards. It's just, yeah, it's going to be good. It's a good card for that deck, definitely.
Yeah, this is potent. The X-Men are showing up to be like quite a synergy-based team, or rather like a really small, like weenie sort of synergy aggro deck with Cyclops and potentially like Wolverine. This makes your deck a lot smoother. This isn't making it like a 56 card deck, it's making it more like a 52 card because when you draw this, you're just going to get 2 deeper. You're doing it in your build phase, which is basically the perfect time to do it because you're going to be able to sort of mini tutor, like you draw 2 cards and you draw another 2 cards from this, and you're a lot less likely to miss like being on curve. You don't really want to be under dropping in this deck where on turn 4 you're just making a 2 or a 1 and a 2 and you're just severely under dropping. You want to be hitting your 5, you want to be making your beast on 4 or whatever your 4 is, you want to be hitting your havoc on time. It just makes your deck a lot more consistent, and that's something that me on the opposite side of an aggro deck needs to be concerned about. That this is making their deck a lot more powerful and bringing it up to the level of mine, because previously beatdown decks tended to be a lot weaker because their card quality was just a lot lower, and now they've able to get the. You have to edit this a little bit. They're able to get the consistency that they lacked before. I know when I was playing Luke Cage, I play against something like Storm aggro. If they missed a deck just because of this mulligan system that this game's got, they missed a drop. They were just miles behind, and they could just never catch up because from turn 4, you were just making the most potent play you could. So, like, massive best 4 drop in the game, best 5 drop in the game, best 6, best 7. And that was just happening all the time, and they just couldn't beat it because they didn't have, access to not having to play cards like you did. So I think Gifted and Talent is great, and I'm going to enjoy seeing what people are going to do with this.
Yeah.
I like the tension that this creates, because now whatever the one the Avengers does is in your 4 deck, if you're going quite big, you need to decide, do I want to play this great plot twist or do I want to play Ghost Rider? And that's the sort of deck building decisions that I enjoy, because you have an actual difficult choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can pretty much splash anything when it gets to that power level, because there's just 0 cost to it. Now there's actual cost to it. On the others, I think Gifted and Talented is probably one of my more favourites, along Steel and Flame. I'm a little bit more medium on Fatal Attraction, just because it's something that they're already doing with Enchantress, but it really reinforces the theme, and it means that without spending a resource, you can both level up Enchantress by using this, and you can make her level 2 ability a lot easier to use without having to spend the resources into it. Because sometimes you're not going to be able to use the level 1 ability, and without you've got loyal soldiers as well, obviously, but this just helps a lot more. It just really fits into that shell, but I wasn't sure if they needed it, but now they've got it, makes it feel a lot more powerful.
Gary, what are you taking from all this loyal shenanigans?
For me, I think it's about making people seriously consider the mono-team theme and actually trying to build around it. I think there are going to be mono-team decks that have game now that are a threat. I mean, you've got to look at some of the other characters floating around in X-Men. Deadpool now, drawing extra cards to fuel a havoc, to clear out the characters, and then stun the main dude, and then finish you off. Wolverine getting extra stuff into his hand so that he's got the juice to keep getting through decks and getting those extra X factors that land ready. It's going to give even something as simple as draw 2 cards. Just gives that deck more juice, more gas. And yeah, everybody's talking about the combo decks and the multi-team for shenanigans and all this kind of stuff. And there will still be powerful multi-team decks out there. But you're looking then at combo, you're looking at longer-term game, and you're seeing these little twists that will end the game faster. Because they give the aggro decks more fuel, they give mono-team decks ways of inflicting more wounds or getting a bigger threat earlier. And it's going to change up the way people play the game. And you're going to see people who just want to play an X-Men deck rock up to a tournament, like a simple bit of OP down in a local gaming store, and be a threat.
Mm-hmm. I think it hints at what we said last week before we even knew about these plot twists, was when we mentioned that you just buy Legacy plus whichever box contains your favourite team.
Yeah.
This just threw that into the next level. So if you just bought your favourite team, you've now got this bonus for playing that favourite team.
Yeah.
Which
the only thing you're missing is a couple of the generics.
Yeah.
Which actually, depending on which team you want, you know, I mean, the generics in some of the sets, you know, you've got obviously the open fires and the cover fires and stuff like that, but you've got shocking, you know, if you're buying Defenders or Underworld, you've got shock. Law Soldiers is A-Force, isn't it?
Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go in Underworld, you've got a fairly brutal deck just there.
Yeah.
Because the Underworld plot twists are not shabby. The new characters are great. The new MC is brilliant. And you've got 2 of the best generic plot twists in the game.
In that one box.
Especially a mono-team deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
4 copies of. Yeah, Legacy plus Defenders gives you probably 2 solid mono-team decks options.
Yeah, definitely.
Without even not worrying about the fact you don't have open fire and find cover.
Yeah.
If you've got shock, you don't need it.
Sorry?
If you've got shock, you don't need it.
Yeah.
If you don't like her when she's angry, you definitely don't need it because that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, if flip the coin. So we're talking about how the game's easily accessible and this whole 2-box purchase thing. Are we screwing over? Well, first of all, the other teams, like we've got the Aliens and we've got the Company, so which nobody likes. But then we've got the Marvel box that comes out with 4 teams in it, with 400 cards. Now we assume they're going to put locations in and a new rule book and tokens. They're not going to have a loud plot twist unless they lose a plot twist, or the box doesn't come with neutral plot twists. They're not going to have the same character count as the other 8 Marvel teams. They're going to then need their own Legacy box.
I think the idea of this set was just to bring up the power level to what modern teams are doing. So we've got a lot of basically stuff that's filler that now is just getting replaced by other better stuff. So in the future, now they've got the heads around this new sort of game system that they're crafting. Basically, I think there'll be less dead space, so a lot more will be packed in, and it'll be a lot more like coherent. And it'll be a team strategy. So I think that with there being less spaces, it's not too much of a problem because they've now got more of an idea of what they need to be doing.
And just from a purely business point of view, the big box are more expensive. They aren't going to release something that is underpowered. They'll either keep it at the same level or it will be power creep. Like just how games work. Like it'd be pretty suicidal for them to release a set that no one really bothers to buy like competitively. I know it's not a massive competitive game, but if you can do without buying it, so like Ashley, he buys 2 sets of everything, but he bought 1 set of like Aliens because there was no point in getting 2. I bought 2 sets of the Marvel Battles, a lot of people did because there was cards that you wanted to use, like 2 Cosmos, so you could play 2 people. If this set's underpowered, that's half the amount of money gone already. They're not going to be stupid with it. with how the game is going, like Ashley said, they know more what needs to be done now in this game and what is good and what people like. I can only see it being like either at the same level or higher.
Guy, do you want to add anything about Expo today? Do we need to?
I am consciously aware that at the time we are recording this, the event still hasn't gone up. I'm kicking Estivium at the moment. I think I'm sorely tempted, providing they Upper Deck and Estivium make good on their promise to make sure Legacy is available for the winner boxes and stuff, of putting in a mono-team format somewhere in there for some of the side events. I've got the help lined up, so it should be good. I should have to post up on the forums by the end of this week all of the plan for the side events as well. So it is still going ahead. I know the delay in the release of Legacy is not great news. It smacks of strategy all over again. So there's a little bit of a nervous twitch now whenever I mention it. Look, let's be fair. I mean, Mark's already said that he's working on it. I know Mike will be working on it. I know the logistics teams at Estivium will be working on it. There's no real reason that it shouldn't be available at Legacy Expo. Because yes, we've got to ship it over the water, but I've done my time in retail. It's not that much of a headache. Supply chain is my background, so
yeah.
That if they want to make it happen, they can make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think if we still get the chance to have it as the winner boxes, have it there for people to buy, it could make the competition on Saturday very interesting indeed.
Yeah.
To the point where actually you've got people who could go and do demo days on the Friday, and feel like having a shot with a mono-team deck. That's how interesting Legacy makes the event. JP will be there with his film camera, so there'll be live streaming and stuff going on. We can make it an event, irrespective of what happens from our perspective. But I'm proper looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity to get a lot of people around the table.
I mean, yeah, if Upper Deck get stock on the boat, I know Mike will have that there Thursday night.
Yeah,
he will have that there. He's never failed to deliver for the last couple of years, so I don't think he'll fail now.
Now might not be the best time for me to reveal the fact I got an email from him going, "What's Legacy?" He's not the logistics guy, so I'm not too stressed.
he refers to it. He's got a little product code. He will have that product code there for you on Thursday. He doesn't know the box's name.
It's also about making sure that the game doesn't come across as elitist and snooty.
Yeah, which it won't with us.
Yeah, there's two words you cannot use to describe us as elitist or snooty.
Well, maybe I'm there, but
Ash's, Chuckle Brothers.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it's me and you that's Chuckle Brothers now.
I think it is. I think we're just gonna have to start just getting in there.
If you turn up wearing the same T-shirt, there's going to be all kinds of abuse.
Well, all my T-shirts are T-shirts, and all of Matt's are like long sleeve things. So we have to take some serious collusion.
We'll sort it out. It's all good. We've got a couple of days. We'll get it sorted.
We're calling it a day, man. Fighter of the night, man.
We have. I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the plot twist. We hope it wasn't the Avengers who got it as well. And we hopefully will see you next week. A little bit of Lambda Shuttle. Palpatine is broken. Ban. Restrict. Thanks very much. Bye.
No.
I mean, I'm going to say it's Air Force. It'll be Team Attack Tuesday with Air Force.